I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I think the universe has a way of placing people exactly where they need to be. Not where they want to be, not where they plan to be, but where they need to be. And somewhere out there, maybe closer than either of us realizes, there's a woman I haven't fully met yet. Or maybe I have. Maybe she's already walked past me. Maybe she's already smiled at me and I didn't know it yet. But here's what I do know. Love isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't send you a calendar invite or show up with a sign. It just arrives quietly, honestly, like something that was always meant to happen. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm grateful for it because she's out there and she's closer than she thinks. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and the more I think about it, the more I realize that nothing in this life happens by accident. Not the small things, not the big things, not the moments that change everything. Not even the moments that seem like nothing at all. Because sometimes those are the most important ones of all. I've come to believe deeply and honestly that the universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever name feels right to you, has a plan. Not a rigid mechanical plan. Not something written in stone that none of us can escape, but something more like a current. A gentle, invisible current that moves beneath everything, beneath all the noise and the rush and the confusion of daily life, and slowly, quietly pulls things toward where they're supposed to be. And people especially, I think people are placed, I think we are moved sometimes without knowing it, sometimes without wanting it, into positions, into moments, into rooms and streets and ordinary Tuesday afternoons for reasons we won't always understand right away, maybe not for months, maybe not for years, maybe not until we look back from some distant future and finally see the shape of it all, the way you can only see the pattern of a painting when you step far enough away from the canvas. I think about all the times in my life when something felt random, when a decision felt small, when a turn felt meaningless. Take a different street, stop at a different coffee shop, say yes to something you almost said no to. Show up 5 minutes late instead of on time. And I used to think those things were just noise, just the static of an ordinary life moving forward without much intention. But I don't think that anymore. I think every single one of those moments was a coordinate, a quiet instruction from something larger than me, nudging me, not pushing, never pushing, just nudging in a direction I needed to go. Even when I didn't know I needed to go there, and I think that's true for all of us. I think that's true for her too. The woman I'm talking about, my future wife, she's out there right now living her life, making her own decisions, turning her own corners, stopping at her own coffee shops, saying yes to thin, GS she almost said no to. And every single one of those choices is moving her slowly, quietly in my direction. Not because I'm anything special, not because I deserve it more than anyone else, but because the current is moving and we are both in it. And sooner or later, maybe sooner than either of us could possibly imagine, that current is going to bring us to the same place at the same time. And I find that genuinely beautiful. I find it comforting in a way that's hard to put into words, because it means I don't have to force it. It means I don't have to manufacture something or perform something or chase something down like it's running away from me. It means I can just be here, be present, keep showing up, keep being honest, keep moving through the world with my eyes open and my heart open, and trust that the current knows what it's doing. I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to control things, trying to plan, trying to map out exactly how things should go, exactly when they should happen, exactly what they should look like when they arrive. And every time I've done that, every single time, life has looked at my map and quietly, gently, without any malice, folded it up and set it aside. Not to punish me, not to be cruel, but because the map I drew was always smaller than the territory that was actually waiting for me. The real thing was always bigger, always richer, always more complicated and more beautiful and more surprising than anything I could have planned for myself. And so I've learned slowly, imperfectly, with plenty of resistance along the way, to trust the current, to stop fighting the river, to stop standing in the middle of the stream with my arms out trying to redirect the water with my bare hands because the water knows where it's going. And if I just let myself float, if I just stay in it and stay open and stay honest and stay present, it will take me somewhere real, somewhere true, somewhere that feels less like an achievement and more like a recognition, like arriving somewhere you've never been before, and somehow knowing in the very first moment that this is where you were always supposed to end up. That's what I believe is waiting for me. Not a destination I planned, not a woman who fits perfectly into some list I wrote down when I was younger and thought I knew what I needed, but something realer than that, someone realer than that. Someone the current has been carrying just like it's been carrying me, and who is going to arrive in my life the way real things always arrive. Not with a trumpet blast, not with a spotlight, not with any announcement at all, but quietly and simply, and with the kind of certainty that doesn't need to shout because it already knows. I think about the mathematics of it sometimes, the sheer staggering improbability of two people finding each other in a world this large and this loud, and this full of distraction and distance and noise. 7 billion people, more than 7 billion now, moving in every direction, living in 1,000 different time zones, speaking 1,000 different languages, dreaming as on different dreams. And yet people find each other every single day. Every single day, somewhere on this planet, two people look at each other and something shifts. Something clicks into place. Something that was slightly out of alignment suddenly becomes aligned. And both of them feel it. Even if neither of them knows quite what to call it yet, that happens. That is a real thing that happens. And the fact that it happens at all, given all the noise, given all the distance, given all the infinite number of ways it could fail to happen, tells me something. It tells me that the universe is not indifferent to love. It tells me that whatever force moves beneath all of this, whatever current runs through the river of human experience, it bends toward connection. It bends toward the moment when two people stop being strangers and start being something they don't have. Via word for yet. And she's in that mathematics. My future wife is in that mathematics right now. She's one of those 7 billion points of light moving through the world. And she's moving, whether she knows it or not, in a direction that leads to me, just as I'm moving in a direction that leads to her. And the distance between us, whatever it is right now, miles or minutes or just the thickness of a moment not yet arrived, is shrinking. It has been shrinking for a long time, maybe since we were born, maybe since before that. If you believe in the kind of things I sometimes find myself believing in when it's late and the world is quiet, and I let my mind go to the places it goes when nobody's watching. I don't know exactly when she'll arrive. I don't know what the day will look like, what the light will be doing, what I'll be thinking about in the moment before I see her. I don't know if I'll know immediately or if it will sneak up on me slowly, the way some of the best things do, quietly, assembling themselves in the background of your life until one day you look up and realize that everything has already changed and you just didn't notice it happening. Either way, I'm not afraid of it. I'm the opposite of afraid. I am quietly, steadily, genuinely ready for it, in the way that you're ready for something. You've stopped trying to rush something you've made peace with waiting for, because you know with a calm that lives in your bones rather than your head that it's already on its way. There's a kind of faith in that, not a religious faith necessarily, though it rhymes with one, a faith in the shape of things, a faith in the idea that the world is not purely random, that there is some organizing principle beneath all the chaos, some invisible architecture holding everything up, and that one of the things that is quietly, patiently organizing is this meeting, this beginning, this moment that hasn't happened yet, but that I can feel coming. The way you can feel weather sea hanging before the first drop falls. The air gets different, something shifts in the quality of the light, And, without being able to explain exactly how you know that something is coming, something real, something that's going to matter. And all I have to do is stay in it, stay present, keep showing up to my own life with honesty and openness and the willingness to be surprised, to be changed, to be moved by something I didn't see coming. Because the universe places people exactly where they need to be. And right now, it is placing her slowly, quietly, with all the patience and precision of something that has never once been in a hurry, because it already knows how the story goes. It is placing her step by step, corner by corner, ordinary Tuesday by ordinary Tuesday, closer and closer to where I am. And I am staying still enough and open enough and honest enough to be found. Love doesn't knock loudly. That's the first thing I want to say about it, and maybe the most important thing, because I think we've all been taught by movies, by songs, by every story we've ever consumed about what love is supposed to look and sound and feel like. That it arrives with noise, that it arrives with drama and electricity and the kind of moment you could put a soundtrack to. The kind of moment where the camera would pull back slowly and the music would swell and everyone watching would know immediately and without any doubt that this is it, this is the moment, this is where everything changes. And I understand why we love that story. I really do, because it's beautiful in its own way and it's exciting and it gives us something to look for, something to recognize, a shape we already know, so that when love comes, we'll be able to identify it without any confusion or hesitation. But I think, and I've thought about this a long time longer than I can easily explain, I think that story has cost us something. I think it has trained us to look in the wrong direction, to lie, stand for the wrong sound, to wait for the trumpet when love is in its truest and most lasting form, nothing louder than a whisper. I think real love, the kind that holds, the kind that actually builds something over time, the kind that is still standing years later when the excitement is settled and the novelty has worn away, and what's left is just two people choosing each other again and again in the ordinary light of ordinary days. I think that kind of love almost never announces itself. It doesn't arrive at the door with flowers and a speech. It doesn't hit you like a lightning bolt that leaves you stunned and breathless and certain all at once. Sometimes it does. Sure, sometimes there is a moment of immediate recognition, a sudden clarity, a feeling of doors opening in your chest that you didn't even know were closed. But more often, so much more often than the stories we're told would have us believe, it arrives quietly. It edges in through the side door of your life while you're thinking about something else. It hides itself inside an ordinary conversation, an unremarkable afternoon, a moment so small and seemingly insignificant that you almost miss it entirely. Almost. Because something in you notices. Something beneath the noise in the business and the protective habits you've built up over years of being a person in the world. Something very deep and very quiet, and you notices and it stirs and it remembers something it has always known, even though your conscious mind is only just catching up. I think that love actually sounds like not a thunderclap, a stir, a quiet interior movement, like something shifting in a room you've had closed for a long time, a room where the air has been still for years. And then suddenly, not dramatically, not violently, just gently, there's a breath, a small, almost imperceptible movement of air, and you feel it before you understand it. You feel it in the back of your throat and behind your eyes and in that space just below. Your sternum that doesn't have a clinical name, but that every single person on earth knows about because they've felt it before. In moments that mattered, in moments when something true was happening, even if they couldn't yet say what, that space activates quietly without fanfare. And if you're paying attention, really paying attention, not to the outside world, but to yourself, to that deep interior place where the truth lives, you notice it, and you let yourself notice it, and you don't immediately try to explain it away or rationalize it or talk yourself out of it because it doesn't fit the shape of the love story you thought you were supposed to be living. You just notice it and you stay with it and you let it be what it is. I've come to believe that one of the most important skills a person can develop, maybe the most important when it comes to love, is the ability to be quiet enough to hear it coming because it is coming. I genuinely believe it is always coming, always moving in your direction, always finding its way toward you through the noise and the distance and the years. But it will not shout over your distractions. It will not compete with the volume of everything else in your life. It will not wave its arms and demand your attention and insist that you stop and look. It will simply arrive soft-footed and patient and wait to be noticed. And if you are too loud inside, if your mind is too full of plans and expectations and the noise of who you think you should be and what you think love is supposed to look like, you will miss it. Not because it wasn't there, but because you weren't quiet enough to feel it when it was. And I think that's the tragedy that nobody talks about enough. Not the grand tragedies of love, not the dramatic heartbreaks and the devastating endings, and the love stories that implode spectacularly in ways you can see from a great distance. Those are real, and they matter, and they deserve to be talked about. But the quieter tragedy, the that I think is far more common, far more invisible, far more easily missed, is the love that was right there, that arrived exactly when it was supposed to, that was patient and genuine and real, and that was missed. Simply missed because the person it came for was looking in the wrong direction, listening for the wrong sound, waiting for the lightning bolt. When the softest and most transformative light was already filling the room, had been filling the room for some time, and they just hadn't turned around to see it yet. That breaks my heart in a quiet, specific way. And it makes me want to be more careful, more attentive, more willing to slow down and let the noise settle and pay attention to what's actually in the room with me rather than what I imagine should be there because she is going to arrive quietly. I know that about her already, even though I don't know everything else yet. She is not going to arrive with a declaration. She is not going to walk through the door of my life.